Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, the ultimate breakdown. A dark turn in a galaxy, far, far away. A young hero hangs desperately from a weather vane, the truth of his lineage shattering his world. Across the city in the clouds, his friends flee the clutches of the Empire after a bitter betrayal. This is the climactic moment of Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, the 1980 sequel that defied expectations and redefined what a blockbuster sequel could be. What makes this film stand tall as one of the greatest sequels of all time? In this video, we'll break down its epic plot, rich themes, character arcs, and lasting impact, and uncover the hidden details and Easter eggs along the way. Let's journey to a galaxy far, far away to see what makes this chapter of Star Wars truly special. From Hoth to Cloud City, Story Overview. After the triumphant destruction of the Death Star in A New Hope, the rebellion is now on the run. The Empire Strikes Back immediately plunges us into a darker chapter for our heroes. On the frozen planet of Hoth, Luke Skywalker and the rebels hide from the Empire's relentless pursuit. Luke is ambushed by a towering Wampa ice creature, an early sign of the danger to come. He survives, sporting scars that cleverly mirrored actor Mark Hamill's real-life injuries, thanks to a daring rescue by Han Solo. But any relief is short-lived. Soon, Darth Vader's forces discover the rebel hideout, leading to the spectacular Battle of Hoth. In this iconic sequence, giant Imperial AT-AT walkers march across the snow as rebel snowspeeders harass them, wrapping tow cables around the walkers' legs to bring the behemoths crashing down. Amid the chaos, our heroes show bravery under fire. Han and Leia coordinate a frantic evacuation as Imperial troops storm the base, and Luke leads the remaining fighters before narrowly escaping. It's a harrowing defeat for the rebels, a retreat that firmly establishes the film's darker tone from the start. Meanwhile, Luke follows Obi-Wan Kenobi's spirit to the swampy planet Dagobah to find the great Jedi Master Yoda. Instead of a mighty knight, Luke meets a small green creature full of mischief, who reveals himself to be Yoda. Through cryptic, wise lessons, Yoda trains Luke to feel the Force. In one famous moment, Yoda easily lifts Luke's sunken X-Wing out of the swamp to prove his point, reminding Luke, "Do or do not. There is no try." During training, Luke also confronts a haunting vision in a cave, where he duels a phantom Darth Vader, only to see his own face in Vader's helmet, a warning of what he could become. Elsewhere, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, and C-3PO flee aboard the Millennium Falcon with Imperial Star Destroyers in hot pursuit. In one of the saga's most thrilling sequences, Han pilots the Falcon through a treacherous asteroid field to escape the Empire. Fun fact, the effects team slyly used a potato as one of the asteroids in this scene, a hidden gag that looks just like a real rock. Taking refuge in a cave on one of the asteroids, the group catches their breath. They soon realize that this cave is actually the belly of a giant space slug, forcing a narrow escape and adding one of the film's memorable surprises. In these close quarters, Han and Leia's long-simmering attraction finally ignites. Their playful bickering gives way to a passionate first kiss. The two grow closer, giving the film a touching romance that raises the emotional stakes. Eventually, with the Falcon damaged and no safe haven in sight, Han seeks help from his old friend Lando Calrissian on Cloud City, a floating metropolis on planet Bespin. Lando, played by Billy D. Williams, offers a warm welcome, and for a moment it seems our heroes have found sanctuary. But unbeknownst to them, Darth Vader arrived first and forced Lando to betray them. In a shocking turn, Vader steps out of the shadows at dinner. He's been waiting for them. Han's blaster shots are useless against Vader, and the heroes are swiftly captured. The betrayal hits hard. Their supposed refuge becomes a trap set by the Empire. With his friends in peril, Luke's path converges with theirs. He sees a vision of Han and Leia in pain and, against Yoda and Obi-Wan's urgent warnings, abandons his training to help them. It's a brave but reckless choice, showing Luke's loyalty and impatience. He's rushing toward a confrontation he isn't fully prepared for, which will test him like never before. The dark climax. Confrontation and revelation. In Cloud City, Darth Vader springs his trap. Han Solo is chosen as the test subject for carbon freezing, a process intended for Luke, and as a prize for the bounty hunter Boba Fett. In a tense scene, Leia finally tells Han, "I love you," and he famously replies, "I know." Han is then frozen in carbonite, alive but immobilized, and handed over to Boba Fett. It's a heartbreaking moment that leaves our heroes reeling and the Empire seemingly triumphant. Luke arrives and falls right into Vader's clutches. They engage in a lightsaber duel amid the bowels of Cloud City, a showdown filled with eerie steam and flickering lights. It's an intense fight, and it quickly becomes clear Vader is far more powerful. He overpowers Luke with relentless force, even hurling objects at him through the Force. Luke fights valiantly but is outmatched. Finally, Vader delivers a crushing blow. He slices off Luke's right hand, disarming the young Jedi. Luke is beaten, wounded, and exhausted, at Vader's mercy. Then comes the ultimate bombshell. Vader corners Luke and utters the immortal words, "No, I am your father." Luke is horrified. The audience shares his shock as one of cinema's greatest twists unfolds. Darth Vader, the villain, is actually Luke's father, Anakin Skywalker. This revelation redefined the saga and left moviegoers gasping. Behind the scenes, the secret was so tightly guarded that even most of the cast didn't know until release. Luke screams in denial, utterly devastated by the truth. Rather than give in, Luke makes a final act of defiance. He lets himself fall into the abyss below rather than join the dark side. He survives, barely, ending up clinging to an antenna beneath Cloud City. Broken and calling out with the Force, Luke reaches Leia telepathically. Sensing his distress, Leia turns the Millennium Falcon around to save him, showing the strength of their bond and hinting at her own latent Force ability. With Lando's help, she rescues Luke, and they narrowly escape Vader's grasp as R2-D2 gets the Falcon's hyperdrive working just in time. Themes of adversity, growth, and hope. Beneath the swashbuckling adventure, The Empire Strikes Back carries profound themes that elevate it to legendary status. Unlike the triumphant fairy tale vibe of A New Hope, Empire shows that even heroes can falter when darkness rises. Our protagonists face harsh trials, they lose battles, are betrayed, and see their confidence shaken, all of which makes their eventual growth more meaningful. Luke Skywalker's journey exemplifies this. His time on Dagobah isn't just about learning flashy Force tricks, it's about confronting his own impatience and fear. The cave vision where Luke sees his face in Darth Vader's helmet warns that he could become what he hates if he gives in to the dark side. By rushing off to confront Vader too soon, Luke shows bravery and recklessness. He ultimately fails in the duel, losing his hand and learning a devastating truth about his father. Yet, even in defeat, Luke refuses to join the dark side. He's left humbled and hurt, but also wiser and more determined. Empire suggests that true heroism is tested through failure and the choice to keep fighting. Meanwhile, Han Solo and Princess Leia bring an emotional core to the story. Their love blossoms in the midst of chaos, proving that hope and human connection can flourish even in dark times. Han transforms from a cynical smuggler into a selfless hero willing to sacrifice himself for Leia and his friends. Leia, a steadfast leader, learns to let her guard down and trust Han with her heart. Their romance adds warmth and personal stakes to the conflict. When Han is captured, we feel Leia's pain and the gut punch of that loss. The betrayal by Lando Calrissian further drives home the film's gray morality. A friend is forced to betray friends under imperial pressure. But Lando's guilt and quick attempt to make things right show that loyalty and goodness can prevail. Even Darth Vader gains complexity. No longer just a faceless villain, he's revealed as a fallen father, adding a tragic twist to the conflict. Through all the turmoil, The Empire Strikes Back maintains a thread of hope. Our heroes are bruised and separated by the end, but not broken. Their unity and determination remain, promising that the fight isn't over. The film's willingness to take its characters to their lowest point ultimately makes their comeback all the more powerful, and it left audiences eagerly awaiting the next chapter. Cinematic brilliance and behind-the-scenes trivia. The Empire Strikes Back was crafted with a level of cinematic skill that matched its storytelling ambition. Director Irvin Kershner put character and emotion at the forefront, bringing a deeper intimacy to the film. At the same time, the special effects team at ILM pushed boundaries with groundbreaking visuals, from the stop-motion animated AT-AT walkers in the Hoth battle to the dazzling asteroid field chase. The film's look and feel were a leap forward, earning an Academy Award for its visual effects. The Cloud City lightsaber duel, with its moody lighting and dramatic design, remains iconic. And of course, John Williams' score elevated everything. Empire introduced the Imperial March, Darth Vader's theme, one of the most famous and ominous musical themes in movie history. Williams' music, from the romantic swells for Han and Leia to the eerie motifs for Yoda and the relentless pulse of the action scenes, ensured every emotional beat hit home. Beyond what we see on screen, here are a few fun behind-the-scenes facts and Easter eggs that make Empire even more interesting. A super secret twist. The line, "No, I am your father," was kept so secret that during filming, a fake line was used in the script. Obi-Wan killed your father. Only Mark Hamill was told the truth before the premiere, so the shocking reveal surprised even many of the cast and crew. Boba Fett's big impact. Boba Fett, the masked bounty hunter, speaks only a handful of lines in the film, but he became a cult favorite. Empire was his first live-action appearance, after a cameo in an animated TV special, and his cool demeanor and distinctive armor turned him into one of the saga's most popular characters. Han's famous ad-lib. When Leia says, "I love you" before Han is frozen, his reply, "I know," was not in the script. Harrison Ford improvised that line on set, perfectly capturing Han Solo's character and creating a legendary movie moment. Movie magic on Hoth. For the Hoth sequences, the crew filmed in Norway's frigid wilderness. A massive blizzard hit during shooting, but instead of waiting it out, they filmed Luke wandering in the snow by having Mark Hamill walk outside the hotel while the crew stayed indoors, using a real storm as the backdrop for movie magic. Impact and legacy. Upon its 1980 release, The Empire Strikes Back initially caught some audiences off guard with its dark tone and cliffhanger ending. This was a bold departure from the feel-good triumph of the first movie. But with time, Empire became recognized as the crown jewel of the Star Wars saga and one of the greatest sequels ever made. Its influence on pop culture and filmmaking is immense. By allowing the villains to win, for now, and deepening the story, Empire set a template for how powerful a sequel can be, to the point that any dark second chapter in a series is often compared to The Empire Strikes Back. The film's famous twist, Darth Vader revealing he is Luke's father, is perhaps the most iconic plot twist in movie history. It's been endlessly referenced, parodied, and misquoted. "Luke, I am your father" is a common incorrect quote. That moment redefined Star Wars, elevating it from a fun space adventure to an epic family saga with Shakespearean drama. Empire also enriched the Star Wars universe with now classic elements. Yoda became a cultural icon of wisdom. Lando Calrissian added charm and complexity. And the foreboding Imperial March theme introduced in this film became the soundtrack of cinematic villainy. Even Boba Fett's brief appearance launched decades of fan fascination with the bounty hunter. At the box office, Empire proved that Star Wars was no one-hit wonder. It was a sustained phenomenon. The movie broke records. It was the highest-grossing film of 1980 worldwide, and showed Hollywood that audiences would embrace a sequel that took risks and matured the story. Critics and fans today laud The Empire Strikes Back for its storytelling courage and emotional depth, and it frequently ranks among the top films of all time in polls. Its legacy is seen in countless films that strive to deliver deeper, darker second chapters. The saga's shining star. In the end, Star Wars. The Empire Strikes Back endures as a cinematic triumph because it took bold risks that paid off. It gave us richer characters, jaw-dropping revelations, and a narrative that refused to play it safe. It's the chapter that transformed Star Wars from a hit film into a lasting mythos. Even today, the film's engaging blend of adventure, emotion, and surprise keeps audiences riveted from the opening battle on Hoth to the poignant final scene aboard the Rebel frigate. Empire leaves us on the edge of our seats, but also deeply satisfied by the journey. If A New Hope made us fall in love with a galaxy far, far away, The Empire Strikes Back made that love deeper and more enduring. Decades later, we still talk about this movie, learn new trivia about its making, and feel the impact of its story. It set a standard for sequels and proved that sometimes the darkest hour truly does lead to the greatest triumph. For fans, it's a film that never gets old. For newcomers, it's a shining example of why Star Wars became a cultural phenomenon. Ultimately, The Empire Strikes Back isn't just a great Star Wars movie. It's a great movie, period. Its depth, drama, and imagination ensure it will remain beloved for generations to come. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. As we close this chapter of the breakdown, one thing is certain. The Force is strong with The Empire Strikes Back. May the Force be with you, always.